From far and wide, Oilers fans, this is Dolynny TV.
And welcome back to another Oilers discussion. But today, guys, I asked for your help with this video. A couple of days back, I said on the community tab on Dolynny TV, I asked you guys, hey, do you have any questions for me? I'm looking at doing kind of a Q&A mailbag episode, right? I want to see where you guys are at, what questions you have for me as we grow along this season, as we grow along the channel and all that. With that, I'm your host, Tyson Dolynny of Dolynny TV. A reminder, you can follow me at Twitter, at Dolynny TV. Don't forget to do that because that's where I try and tweet as much as I can during the game. Last night didn't tweet much because I was streaming and I was just all around tired, but let's get right to it. So I asked you guys for your questions and I believe I got 9 or 10 questions total, depending on how you look at the questions being asked in these comments on the community tab. So, first one coming from the Cougar 27, is McDavid better than Gretzky, and will Killam is a cool town, I imagine, is Killam a cool town is what is being asked there, but we'll get to the McDavid Gretzky first. Essentially what I'm talking about here is it's a debate between two generational players in two very different eras. However, all of a sudden, you want to talk about things being changed around in the NHL. You gotta remember, goal scoring was down 2 to 3 years ago very, very sharply. Suddenly the idea of shrinking goaltenders' equipment became a thing. And you've seen over the past 2 seasons, last year and this year, things have really raised up in terms of goal scoring. You got to think McDavid, what he's on 41 in 29 games played so far. That is a phenomenal pace. Yes, that's a McDavid pace, but you got to think all of a sudden longer into the season, it's going to rack up a little bit more than that kind of pace. You got to think about other guys getting goals and stuff across the league. It's not just that. So essentially, I guess looking at it in big picture view, is McDavid better than Gretzky? It might still be a little bit too early to tell, but McDavid is making a very good stake early in his career to say, hey, put me on notice as a guy better than, or if not equal to, Wayne Gretzky. And of course you got to look at what Wayne Gretzky only did as an Edmonton Oiler when talking about McDavid, because when you try to compare those two, you got to compare them team comparable first, and then of course in terms of NHL career. And first thing that Gretzky has on McDavid is cups, and unfortunately that is kind of the biggest dictator in career greatness outside of numbers. So right now, I'd say Gretzky is still the best. However, McDavid getting along, going. You give him 5-6 years from now, no concussions, I think we're looking at a very different answer out of me. Next question on the ledger is from Dale N., who asks, now that the Oilers have seemingly turned a corner for the better under Hitchcock, I believe this is a huge indicator that McLellan was a big part of the Oilers' struggles. What do you think? Obviously, I'm going to totally agree with you, Dale. It is as simple as this. For the Oilers, they have a roster that apparently can win, right? Chiarelli, when McLellan was fired and Hitchcock was hired, said, we have a roster we feel can win. Everybody kind of laughed, right? Everybody in the media, everybody, all the fans on Twitter, everybody everywhere was like, oh my God, is that guy serious, man? He's made so many boneheaded trades, and now he thinks he's got a roster that can win, and suddenly the Oilers are what, 7-2-1 under Ken Hitchcock? Wow, who would have thunk it? But that's the thing, right? If Ken Hitchcock can do it with this roster and Todd McLellan couldn't, one thing is, Todd McLellan must have lost the room for a majority of the season, as well as just not being an all-around great coach, I guess, is what it comes down to. So I think, yes, 100%, it was a big part of the Oilers' struggles was McLellan. Let's go on to the next question coming from Darkness Prevails. And right now, he has another question in the mailbag. I tried to throw every single question you guys threw at me. I will answer in this one. Darkness wants to know, who are the best Oilers prospects right now? And honestly, it is 2 guys we selected in the 2018-2019 or 2018 draft, and 1 guy in the AHL in terms of numbers. That's the way I'm looking at it. Guys just putting up ridiculous numbers out of maybe not what we'd expect from them in terms of career production before. One guy in the AHL is Caleb Jones. You got to think that if he keeps producing and goes above what he's done so far, he gets a call up this year, although I think next year he's a lineup mainstay and makes it out of camp. And the other two kids, another blue liner, of course, Evan Bouchard, you got to believe he's going to be full-time with the NHL club next year, which really begs the question, what happens to Benning, Gravel, everybody on that bottom four of our defense? I don't think any of those guys are here past next year, considering you've got Sekera to come in. It is going to be an absolute mess. I think a guy like Chris Russell or Matt Benning or Darnell Nurse, somebody's going to be gone this year. Let's not get into that too much. That wasn't the question. Sorry, Tyson. All right, let's go with the other guy, Ryan McLeod, who's having a hell of a season down in Mississauga. The guy is having just unreal time, and you know what? I think he is going to be phenomenal for the Oilers moving forward, like that perfect third-line centerman, or else, I don't know, the Oilers might convert him to a winger. Honestly, I could see the Oilers doing the Draisaitl move again with Ryan McLeod. I'm not sure. I haven't watched much of his games. I've seen like 2 highlights, so maybe I'm a little uneducated. But yes, Ryan McLeod, Evan Bouchard, Caleb Jones. That is to answer your question there, Darkness. And Darkness's second question is, what's your opinion on the Hall trade? Guys, this goes back a couple seasons, and I've been on the record saying different things at different times because every day I feel different. It depends on what Larson does. If Larson looks good, it's a good trade because we got rid of a guy who was, quote-unquote, an issue in the locker room, but at the same rate, we got Adam Larson, who's a defensive plug 50% of the time, or so it seemed under Todd McClellan. Now, all of a sudden, Adam Larson, don't get me wrong, he has played some better defense under Ken Hitchcock, and that should only get better as time progresses with Hitchcock. So right now, I'm still very mixed. I guess that's the best way to say it, is I have very mixed feelings on the Halls trade. You give up that caliber of a player, but it just wasn't meant to be, I guess, is the best way to put it. So now Fortnite, my man, I suck at Fortnite. Trust me, it's true, 24-24. I just wanted to say that. That is, you know what, that is the epitome of YouTube, buddy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Who is your favorite Oilers player of all time? Guys, I grew up in the 05-06 Cup run. I mean, a couple of seasons after that, and you know what happens to a kid that came up in the 05-06 Cup run. A guy that had the sickest hair in the NHL, lost some front teeth on a Chris Pronger slap shot. Come on. You guys know who I'm talking about. Ryan Smith, Smitty. Man, there is nobody more I loved all time as an Oiler than Ryan Smith, and to see him come back to the Oilers, to see him almost break an all-time Oilers record for most power play goals, it was phenomenal, guys. And you know what? I'll forever be romantic about him, but there's another guy in terms of coming up the system. You got to believe a guy like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who I'll touch on in a second, is going to be one of my all-time favorite Oilers, and I will give you my reason in a minute here when we get to that question. The next question, Jorge Molina, how would the Oilers look in a year from now, and how far would they go in the playoffs this year? Hitchcock is teaching them with this roster how to win, pardon me. How come McClellan couldn't do it? I already answered that, right? He kind of lost the room and didn't want to assert his dominance per se. But how would the Oilers look in a year from now? As I already touched on that as well. Bouchard and Caleb Jones are going to be big factors. You got to think Ethan Bear is going to be in there at some point too. Ryan McLeod is going to be a factor. So essentially, I think the identity line is a 1 year, one fling kind of thing, ditch effort to get into the playoffs and have a line that can go out there and impact the game positively in a playoff game. That's essentially what I think that line's here to do. And then after this season, it's gone. Spooner, Zykov, and Ratty, they're all auditioning for longer-term places on this team. I don't know what the exact plan is, but unfortunately the problem is with Hitchcock not being the full-time coach per se after this year, how do we know what the actual plan is? How far would the Oilers go if they make the playoffs this year? I think it's another second to third round projection for me. Really, if we run into Anaheim and Ryan Kessler's running over our goalie again, well, sorry, it's out in round one, but you know what I mean. It's just we got to get some luck, and lately we've been getting the luck on the reviews and challenges, so I think we're going to be fine in the playoffs should we have this same continued luck. And I think a third round appearance if we play solid hockey the rest of the way home. I know that sounds like a homer call, but I think the Oilers are capable of it, especially with that identity line. Now, Josh comes in and asks, do you think the Oilers are going to go for the playoffs this year or lottery? Like I said, I'm thinking it's a third round appearance, so it should be a good time for the Oilers to get deep into the playoffs and have a good chance at success as well. And Tristan is asking, Tristan Campbell, there's another Tristan that asked a question, will the Nuge be a lifelong Oiler? And as I touched on, Nuge potentially becoming one of my all-time favorite Oilers, you know what, that's exactly why. Nuge has soldiered through everything. He has been there pretty much from the start of chaos, absolute chaos. You got to think 2010, 2011, everything from 2010 on, Nuge has pretty much been a part of. So I think Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is indeed the guy that is a lifelong Oiler from our #1 draft picks, because the next question, the other Tristan Weeb asking, will McDavid go to the Leafs when his contract expires? That hinges on the success of the Oilers before the Connor McDavid contract is up. Because now we've seen in an era when players can decide, I want to go there, I'm going there no matter what, just offer me the right money, I'm gone, kind of deal, right? LeBron James to LA, LeBron James to the Cavaliers, right? That's NBA. But you got to think John Tavares to the Maple Leafs. That's as simple as that gets, right? So it's tough. It's tough to fathom at this point. Connor McDavid, a young kid still, just playing great hockey, hoping to lead his team to a cup. It's tough to fathom, but without success, it's very, very likely, and that's a very sad reality for us as Oilers fans. Guys, that is it. That is all. Those are your questions. I will try and do another mailbag about 3 to 4 weeks from now, so look for that community post when it comes out. Of course, I'm Tyson Dolynny. This has been an edition of Dolynny TV, a mailbag edition as you guys ask me your Edmonton Oilers questions, and I hope to do it again. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys in the next one.